All the Sagittarius, Sun, Libra, Moons, welcome to your 2020 Sun Moon reading. When you view it is when you're meant to see it. It doesn't matter the time of year. I'm doing these in order of requests in the comments. Be sure to post yours up. And while you're waiting for yours to get done, check out your 2019 Sun Moon readings in my playlist. The first portion of this reading, we'll go over the traits of your Sun Moon combination. I'll lay out the main cards and we'll take a quick look at your 2020. The second portion will be the Vimeo link below, where I'll have a deeper interpretation of the cards with clarifiers. I'll be dividing the year up into 4 separate sectors, so let's see what's going on with the traits of your sign. You guys really believe in yourselves, and you're very strong and independent when it comes to how you position yourselves. You have really out there aspirations, and you're very confident. The fact that you learn very quickly, you have a lot of charm, always works out to your benefit. You're going to have no problem attaining recognition and achieving your path to success. You're very rational, you're very open-minded, social-oriented and inventive. You're cheerful, you're hopeful, you're delightful. And what else can we ask for? A little bit naive sometimes, though, in this combination. There can be a very serious part to you, and this comes from the philosopher that you have, who likes to perceive things and kind of look at things. You have a huge imagination. Sometimes it's a little too far-fetched, and it causes you to kind of get carried away, and you have a hard time kind of reeling yourself back in. But no matter how far you drift away, it seems like luck is always on your side, and everything seems to turn out wonderful for you guys. You have a thirst for knowledge, especially anything theoretical. You don't like to get mixed up in small little details and things like that. You like to look at larger concepts and the bigger picture. You're more interested in looking at life as a whole instead of, balancing your checkbook or something like that. Very lively and dynamic. People have a hard time resisting your sense of humor. You're also very fun-loving. You're very bold. So great to have at a party, of course. You're devoted, truthful. You never compromise your values, and you work very hard through what life throws at you. The opposite sex is often very attracted to you, and you spend a lot of time looking for someone that's just perfect because you tend to be a little idealistic and romantic in that regard. You do have a lazy streak, and you do tend to be a little bit complacent. Be careful, because your dreams could just stay exactly that, just dreams, unless you get the strength and the motivation to follow them through. If you actually do that, you could do some really great things. Your specialty is insight in regards to society. So you have an understanding of other people. You're very good at diplomacy. If you want to get into a career, you're predispositioned towards anything sociology, politics, law, counseling, education, human relations, or social activism. Okay, so there's that in a nutshell. Let's see what's going on in 2020. Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please provide your truth, your wisdom, your clarity, and your insight for Sagittarius Sun, Libra Moons? What do you see? What do they need to know for the year 2020 to reach your higher ground, become closer to the universe and closer to divine? Any messages you have for them for their greater good for 2020 would be greatly appreciated. Sagittarius Sun, Libra Moons. What do you see? What do they need to know? What do you see for January, February, March for Sagittarius, Sun, Libra, Moons? January, February, March brings you the King of Wands in reversed. If this reading resonates, consider a personal reading. My rates, my info. This was flipping right here. Those are hard to pull out. 3 different ways that cards get pulled when I shuffle. The 8 of Swords in the upright. April, May, June. Okay, like I said, if this reading resonates, consider personal reading. My email is in the description box below, along with rates and info. Do you see for July, August, September? Also, ask me a question on Instant Go. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Insta. Ace of Swords for July, August, September. And then if you could like, share, subscribe, and or donate in the link below in support of my videos, that would be fabuloso. 4 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so we start off the year. I'm kind of getting a lack of confidence from you all for January, February, March. Feeling like you don't have the confidence to kind of move ahead with something. You don't want to try something. You're afraid you're going to fail, which is really kind of strange for you. I mean, that I would kind of get that. The King of Wands can go another way, but I'm not feeling that. Feeling like for some reason, your self-esteem maybe is a little bit low, and you just don't, you're worried that whatever you kind of do, you're going to end up failing at, and you're having a struggle achieving something. And that's a real concern of yours, I feel like, during this period of time. And April, May, June, as we move into that, I'm seeing that this is all in your mind. It's not really a reality. It's not, I mean, if you looked at the reality of it, it wouldn't be that way. You're perceiving it. You're allowing yourself to think this, and this is what's feeding into this big, like, I don't think I can do it. I'm probably going to fail. I'm not going to be able to achieve this that I set out to do, because you've imprisoned yourself in your mind. You've told yourself that you can't do it, and you keep on telling yourself that repeatedly. But if you tell yourself otherwise, you can kind of break out of this. You're restricting yourself. And it could be that lazy and the complacency we were talking about. I mean, if you have that kind of self-talk, then you're not going to achieve anything. You have to, like, really get in there and be like, I can. Little train that said, what, I think I can. You need to inject some of that into you in the beginning of the year. And maybe the middle of the beginning half of the year, first half of the year. And maybe some of this is actually injected into you, because Ace of Swords, I see you having a sense of clarity. You see what's kind of holding you back. You know what your mental blocks were, and you're getting those mental blocks out of the way. You're deciding to move ahead with intellect, wisdom, honesty. So you're kind of carving a path for yourself and seeing that. So that's good. So I really think you learned a lot the first half of the year, and you're kind of moving forward. So having this mental breakthrough. But the problem is, I feel like with the Four of Swords at the end of the year, you're not doing very much with this. And it's an inability to do something. Like, I feel like you want to do it, you see it, you know what you want to do, but there's nothing happening in that department. You're just kind of spinning your wheels, I feel like. And I think there's a frustration that's coming along with this. It's almost like you've been put, like, in this timeout or you're feeling like you've been put in the corner for some reason, because whatever you envisioned happening, I feel like you had this breakthrough and you're like, oh, wow, now things are going to happen. Now the wheels are going to start spinning, and I'm going to go someplace, and I can see this. And, and there was this big kind of lead up to this, and it seems like it's a little anticlimactic, because at the end of the year, nothing really seems to be happening. And you're just kind of sitting there, and no matter how you start to make things or try to make things happen, nothing's becoming of it. So there's a huge amount of frustration that's happening because your environment isn't changing, the situation isn't changing. It might be because how you're going about with your thought processes. The Four of Swords in reverse can be avoiding doing internal work or thinking or kind of figuring that stuff out. And in that avoidance, nothing happens. So there might be some internal processes you need to address. It might just be your angle or how you're kind of going about things. So my suggestion would be that you address that in 2020, obviously. I'm going to be pulling clarifiers on this, so make sure you click on the Vimeo link below. We'll go into it a little bit deeper. If it did resonate, consider personal reading. My email is in the description box below. Just send me an email. We can book that. Otherwise, check out your 2019s in my playlist. Ask me a question on Instant Go. Check me out on Facebook and Insta. Like, share, subscribe, and or donate in the link below. Otherwise, adios from Veronica Garnett. Good luck in 2020. Bye.